In this video, we'll talk about Java blocking queue. Java blocking queue is called blocking because if there is no item available in the queue, then the calls will be blocked. So Java blocking queue is an interface, and java.util.concurrent.blocking queue represents a queue which is thread safe to put elements into and takes element out from. In other words, multiple threads can be inserting and taking elements concurrently from a Java blocking queue without any concurrency issue. A blocking queue is a queue that blocks when you try to dequeue from it and the queue is empty, or if you try to enqueue items to it and the queue is already full. If a thread tries to take an element and there are none left in the queue, the thread can be blocked until there is an element to take, and similarly, the thread is blocked if the queue is full and it tries to add an element to the queue. Whether or not the calling thread is blocked depends on what methods you call on the blocking queue. Blocking queue methods. Blocking queue methods comes in four forms with different ways of handling operation that cannot be satisfied immediately but may be satisfied at some point in the future. It is not possible to insert null into blocking queue. If you try to insert null, the blocking queue will throw a null pointer exception. So in this chart, on the left hand side, I have listed down the common operations: insert, remove, and examine. And on the top, there are four ways of handling operation. The first one throws exception. The second one returns a special value like true or false. Third one, whether it blocks or not. And the fourth one, whether it times out, it provides a timeout. So add, if it's unable to add an element to the blocking queue, then it will throw an exception. Offer will return true or false. If it's unable to add, then it will return false. Put will block the thread. So until it's unable to add an item to the queue, this put will block. Offer, this is with timeout. So what it can do is that it can wait for specified amount of time before returning false if it's unable to add an item to the queue. Similarly, remove is unable to remove, then it throws an exception. Hold will return true or false depending on whether it's able to remove the item from the queue. Take will block, and poll comes with a timeout. In the same way, we have peek, which is a special value. Blocking queue implementation. Blocking queue is an interface, so you need to use one of its implementation. Java.util.concurrent package has the following implementation of blocking queue. First one is array blocking queue. It uses array on the backend side, and it is a bounded blocking queue. A bounded means that the size of the queue is fixed. Once created, the capacity cannot be changed. Delay queue. Delay queue is a specialized priority queue that orders elements based on their delay time. It means that only those elements can be taken from the queues whose time has expired. Linked blocking queue. Linked blocking queue is an optionally bounded blocking queue based on linked nodes. It means that the linked blocking queue can be bounded if its capacity is given, else the linked blocking queue will be unbounded. Priority blocking queue. Priority blocking queue is unbounded blocking queue that uses the same ordering rules as class priority queue and supplies blocking retrieval operation. And the fifth one is synchronous queue. Synchronous queue is a special kind of blocking queue in which each insert operation must wait for corresponding remove operation by another thread and vice versa. So we'll be looking at the implementation example of each of these types of queue in the next sections.